This informer lied in court. Sir Q. Ord, the chief constable at the time, has already confirmed that he was a true informer, that he was a codename Steak Knife, and because of that he is untouchable by the police or the courts. This order came direct from London. Now, shortly after that, the chief constable, Sir Q. Ord, was moved to London. The informer, codenamed Steak Knife, his case was raised in the Stevens inquiry on the 19th of December 2005, but the inquiry passed it back to the RUC in Belfast, saying that it was their job to sort it out. Nothing ever happened. Now, then you get our Chief Constable Matt Baggett on UTV Live on the 18th of the 11th, 2011, saying, "My colleagues and I are personally committed to delivering personal, professional and protective policing to the people of Northern Ireland. We will treat you fairly and make sure that you can use our services at a time that is reasonably suitable for you when we speak to you. We will always give you an opportunity to voice your concerns. I am a Christian man and I believe in justice." That coming from the mouth of a chief constable who let yobs torture a mother and her disabled daughter, who made 33 phone calls for help to his police force in Leicestershire. The mother, Fiona Pilkington, and her disabled daughter, Francesca Hardwick, got into their car and set it alight and were burnt to death. That was after years of abuse by youth. No one was ever charged, and that coming from a so-called Christian chief constable who is now in charge of our police force here in Northern Ireland. What a hypocrite that man is. I have wrote to him 8 times about his corrupt police force and the part they had in the murder of my father. My MP Nigel Dodds has also wrote twice on my behalf, and still he will not meet me, yet he has plenty of time to meet Sinn Féin area scum, the very people who murdered my father, with the help of his corrupt police force. I was also in touch with a high-ranking member of Sinn Féin area. That man who said that man who murdered my father was a psychopath, and many in Sinn Féin area were afraid of him. He was known to have signed an affidavit to the fact that if anything should happen to him, the signed letter was to be handed over to the media and the world press. Now, a solicitor in Belfast is holding this letter, and I have the name and address of that solicitor. It contains all the crimes and murders he was involved in, and all those who were involved with him, his handlers both in the FRU and the RUC special branch, and also British ministers who he reported to, and also his own area leaders who were involved with him. And you can be sure that those in Sinn Féin area working in Stormont and the City Hall are praying that nothing ever happens to him. The corrupt RUC have been involved in my father's case since 1974, and it is now almost 2014. That is 40 years, and they have yet to come to see me to bring me up to scratch with any inquiries they have. The last time I spoke to them was when my father died at the Royal Victoria Hospital. That was in 1974. Since then, no contact at all. The Ombudsman and the HCT have had my father's case since 2005. That is 9 years. And once again, nothing has been done. I have now found out the reason why. I had a meeting with Al Hutchison, the previous Ombudsman, and the HCT, to let them know that I was bringing a journalist over from London to do a story about my father's murder. They both said that would be okay to do it. Now, 1 week later, my journalist was phoned me to say that the HCT sent him a court injunction stating that he was not to do my story and not to enter Belfast. One of the HCT staff, Brian Roberts, also phoned him stating that if he came to Belfast he would be arrested on sight. Also he received a court injunction from the solicitor of the RUC Special Branch and through informer, codenamed Steakknife, the very person who murdered my father, telling him he was not allowed to do the story or set foot in Belfast. This journalist is a British subject and was coming to another part of the UK. So much for one's human rights. Oh, I forgot. In Belfast, we don't have human rights. Now, my worry is that never at any time did I tell the Ombudsman or the HCT the name, address or the telephone number of my journalist, and I am 100% sure of that. Also, who told that solicitor of the informer that I was bringing a journalist to do a story? And also, who gave him the name and address and number of my journalist? The conclusion I come to is that my home telephone number was hacked by both the HCT and the RUC. I have accused the Ombudsman and the HCT of colluding with the RUC to have my phone hacked. There is no other way that they could have got those name, address and phone numbers. After that incident, I have lost all faith in both the HCT and the Ombudsman. Those corrupt people who are supposed to uphold law and order have had plenty of time to sort my father's case out. Now I know that it will never happen, not on their watch. The British government, the RUC, the Sinn Féin IRA, the Ombudsman, the HCT all say that this was a war. So my father, an innocent, unarmed man, was murdered by Sinn Féin IRA scum while they held him a prisoner of war. Also, the Geneva Convention states that was a war crime. So I am now in contact with the War Crimes Commission in The Hague in the Netherlands, charging Sinn Féin IRA and their leaders, Adams and McGuinness and co, as war criminals. I am also charging the British government, the RUC, the Special Branch, the HCT, the Ombudsman, and also certain MLAs at Stormont, and also members of the legal profession who went out of their way so that the truth about my father's murder would never be solved and never reach the courts. As I said at the start of this statement, it has taken me 40 years to get justice for my father, yet those corrupt individuals that I have mentioned above will not admit their guilt and their part in killing thousands of innocent people in Northern Ireland, just to appease Sinn Féin IRA. So I will not waste my time on those war criminals anymore. We will see what the War Crimes Commission in The Hague has to say about it. I will be bringing all the official information I have gathered with all the names of those involved and all of the atrocious acts of violence and murder, and also the valuable information I have received from former members of Sinn Féin IRA with all the necessary names I have collected. Justice in Britain must be in a bad state when I, a British subject, have to travel to a foreign country to get justice and truth. Who said that Britain was the best justice in the world? Just to finish off now, if that Sinn Féin IRA scum, hardnut, the Fru informer, aka Steakknife, would like to try and take out another Arthur Rafferty, I would be more than willing to oblige him. Anytime, anywhere. Give me a call and we will sort this matter out once and for all. And what I can say to you, bring it on. Anyone who would like a DVD of my story or any other of my stories can call me on my mobile 07715 921137. Leave your name and address and I will send you a DVD free. Thank you. Anyone who has a story to tell and wishes me to air it can call me on my mobile 07715 921137, or I can send a reporter out to you to your house to get your story. And remember, I will tell your story as you tell me. Nothing will be cut out. Watch more of my stories on YouTube, arthurrafferty.com. My email is arthurrafferty@gmail.com. YouTube, Arthur Rafferty. Arthur Rafferty Docker. Thank you for watching ASNI TV. I will see you soon. Good morning.